All right, we are back from recess. All we have on the agenda now is some mail. So we do have a letter from our fair department. We are going paperless. Please provide your email. Wave of the future. We also have a letter from the Teamsters Union, local number 2. Dear Commissioners, this is from Aaron Foley, the business agent for Teamsters. Recently met with Broadwater County Road Department employees. At this meeting, I received signed authorization for representation cards from the eligible employees. A petition for certification has been filed with the Montana Board of Personnel Appeals. Therefore, I respectfully ask that you give Teamsters local number 2 voluntary recognition for representation for those above mentioned road department employees. And of course, that has to be all employees of the road department. We have we'll deal with that here in a minute. This one is from the Montana Department of Commerce. And it's from Doug Mitchell, the Deputy Director. This is regarding our CDBG grant. Unfortunately, at this time, all CDBG funds for planning grants have been allocated. Should additional funds come available, Commerce will consider previously unfunded applications in the order they were received. This did get submitted late. It shouldn't have been. And it was not, the county submitted our stuff on time, but the next step was done late. And unfortunately, we do need that planning grant to get our work done. So we'll be first in line next year and have it in early. And at this point, that's really 6 months from now.
Okay.
And it's a first come, first served grant. We also have from the Department of Environmental Quality, Chico Hot Springs Resort and Day Spa is looking for a wastewater discharge permit. There you go. And for signature mail, we have a letter from the planning department, and this is concerning a violation of a driveway that is onto a county road, and it should be onto an interior road.
We were given this last week.
We were, yes. So we'll go ahead and send that off. We have property that went from private, went from private ownership, and through a will, the family gave it to the Forest Service. On that property, we had a tower that operates some of our microwaves, and where the private people were paying taxes, Forest Service, as it's a government entity, will not be paying those taxes anymore. So that's basically a notice to that effect.
So we would be responsible for the $662.49?
Correct. We just won't realize that revenue.
Okay. Was this the hill down?
It's Mildred Neal's property, and it's up this side of the lake at the northern end of the county. I'm trying to think what road he went up for that. Do you remember?
Might be Ray Creek, but I'm not sure.
I think it is Ray Creek. Thank you. Yeah. Cabin Gulch. No, it's not Cabin Gulch, no. Yeah, it's up Ray Creek.
Okay.
We had a celebration there about a year ago.
So are these back? Oh, we received. So the taxes are only $139.
Yeah. And
But they made $662.
Yeah, that would be the tower rent.
Okay.
So the property is pretty minuscule for as many acres. It's hundreds of acres.
Sure.
But yeah, we had more revenue off of the tower.
So do solid waste pick up our garbage?
No, but they are attached to every piece of property, whether there's a house or not on it.
Oh,
So we also will not be receiving the solid waste fees for this property.
gotcha.
Yeah,
All right, thank
you're welcome. All right, this one we need to sign. This is the grant from Department of Environmental Quality for our junk vehicle program, which will be going to solid waste. We did run an ad, and nobody is interested in taking over junk vehicle. It used to be done by Four Seasons. So Brian, with Solid Waste, has agreed to take on the program. And there is an annual grant that the state helps us pay to get rid of junk vehicles. This is done for every county.
you. So 17, we're eligible for a full grant,
Correct.
right on?
And we have about $9,300, I think, in our $9,300 in our savings account. It's a CIP already, so,
Then I would make a motion to sign the DEQ fiscal year 17 motor vehicle graveyard grant for Broadwater County.
I will second the motion. It's been moved and seconded to sign the fiscal year 17 county motor vehicle graveyard grant. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion carries. And I'll let Michelle fill out the bottom address and such. Next, we have the inmate medical
Yes.
contract, and I was thinking we could just go ahead and send that to Seth and then fill it out
Yep.
based on
And I
what
read
he
it
would like.
over
Alright.
yesterday morning.
Next.
Nice thing is our rates did not go up, they stayed the same.
That's excellent and not
It's
common.
huge, yeah, no kidding.
All right, claims. We have approved claims in the amount of $28,413.56.
I'll make the motion to pay the approved claims in the amount of $28,413.56.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the approved claims in the amount of $28,413.56. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion carries. And we have payroll in the amount of $165,164.77.
So, last Monday we did, was there a payroll?
Yeah, it was for the previous pay.
Okay. Roger that.
9:30, I believe it was.
Yeah, so-
That one was dated.
okay. So I'll make a motion to pay payroll in the amount of $165,164.77.
It's been moved, I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded to pay payroll in the amount of $165,164.77. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion carries. Okay, we received an email from Mr. Steve McCullough from the trust board asking us to authorize the removal of $100,000 from that account. They have to, by law, keep a $2.5 million corpus, and everything above that they can pull out to use in the community. So we just need to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve Broadwater
Trust board?
Trust Board, thank you, to pull $100,000 out of their investments and use it within the community.
I'll second the motion. It's been moved and seconded to authorize the trust board to pull $100,000 from their accounts for use in the community. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye?
Aye, motion carries. All right, and then, Three Forks School District. This is where the work starts. Three Forks School District made a mistake on their paperwork for attachment A with the budget. Basically, what they did is they miscalculated the number of mills, and they need us to add about 10 mills to their total for transportation and elementary school. Here's the paperwork. And the only one it will change is the Three Forks School District, and I have the number here. They'll change it to, from 115, so it's, to 136.42, so each of those funds about 10 more. Here's the paperwork, the addition here. These are the two changes.
Is this, an oversight with the accounting, or how was this amount overlooked?
My guess is it's an error in the, is it a P, what's the name of the report, do you remember? PF 102 or something like that?
Could be that, I don't deal with, so I'm not sure what the number, but it's a horrible report to have to do.
Is it?
It's convoluted and,
Yeah.
very tough, very time consuming.
Yes, yes.
So we have a number of emails from Jefferson County and Gallatin County, because we're all in this school district. They have made the changes, we do not have to. But my guess is the person who does the paperwork for Gallatin County made a mistake, and they didn't, put in the correct number of mills, which would cost them about $98,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Department of Revenue is willing to hold off sending taxes, if we all want to make these changes,
Okay.
There's another issue they're dealing with anyway.
which we'll talk about too. Yeah, thanks, Ann.
But our school, we're good with our school district mills.
Yes, it does not affect our school district.
Okay. So then, if they need more mills, where do we get the mills from?
Taxpayers, that sets what the property taxes are for Broadwater County.
Okay.
The Three Forks School District is just paid by the folks at the southern end of the county who
Okay.
are in that school district. They pay for that school district, not this school district.
Oh, this is not-
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So we do need to have a vote to make that change, if you are so inclined.
It's a bummer of a deal.
It is, on many levels.
But actually better that it's caught now, because they would have to make it up next year. And then they'd really get hammered.
Right.
And so would the taxpayers, because
Mhm.
instead of jumping a little bit, they
Right.
jump double in
Yeah.
2 years.
So I will make a motion to support the 2016-17 mill levies.
All right, I'll-
With an amendment to the Three Forks School District.
I will second the motion. It's been moved and seconded to amend attachment A to reflect the change in the Three Forks School District to 136.42. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Right, and I will sign this. I've also asked Michelle to look into that total. She can tell where it came from, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. It could be the directions state that you're supposed to take this number and this number to come up with this total,
Sure.
but I just wanted to double check that.
You bet.
So we worked on that yesterday. And these, I'll just put up here for now. We have an email, or a letter, excuse me, from Bernadette Swenson with Shopper Surveying. This is to the county attorney's office. And in regards to your phone call, a lawsuit has been filed against the county and you requested additional copies of a preliminary plat. I need to respectfully decline to make new copies of the preliminary plat. The submitted copies of the preliminary plats are required by the subdivision review process, are available at the county planning office, and are the originals of what was submitted for the public record. clerk and recorder's office has a copier available and capable of producing full-size copies. I feel that it would be inappropriate for me to supply additional information to the county after the subdivisions have been finalized. It's a paraphrase of the letter, and there's a copy. If there is a lawsuit against the county, we should be advised. That is our responsibility as a commission, especially with a subdivision. Thank you. Now, for the other big issue. Northwestern Energy challenged their taxes, and Department of Revenue pretty much said, okay. That's a very simplified version. But it is going to have a big effect on Broadwater County. So we have the option, and this has to be done within 5 days of yesterday. One of the reasons that we couldn't wait for this meeting. We have to let Department of Revenue know if we would like to have our tax valuations recertified. That's the other issue Ann was talking about.
Okay, so the last paragraph here says if the local jurisdiction feels the impact is significant enough to justify recertification of development, will consider a request to rectify. So, is this gonna be a big, I mean, obviously this is gonna be a blow to us.
My understanding, and just from the conversation I overheard, is if they are not recertified, they're gonna pay under protest.
Which affects us also, because you have to collect that money, but you cannot use it, so it goes into a separate account. And however long it takes for that to be resolved, that money is not available to the county in total.
What is the impact this is gonna play on us?
On county level mills alone, it's a $230,325.
A hit?
It's off the taxable value. So I'm trying to figure out if our taxable value would go, I think I brought my phone, I didn't bring my calculator. A mill right now is worth $14,850. It would be worth $14,600. So for every mill in any department, they would lose $250. So for public safety, which has 35-ish mills, times $250, their loss is $8,750. So when you put it into the overall,
I think this is ridiculous that Northwestern Energy is doing this.
I do too.
I think it doesn't help our local people whatsoever, and their prices keep on going up.
Yep. If we ask for recertification, it looks like we have three options. One is we can say we support a challenge. Two, we can just accept it as is and somehow absorb this in the budget. Three, we can ask for a recertification. A recertification may result in Department of Revenue giving us some more mills. The mills themselves are still worth less, but the number of mills would be more. And then we would just divide those evenly, or divide them amongst the departments that really need them.
I don't support them with this whatsoever. I would support us challenging them, or the option of showing Department of Revenue that this is gonna be detrimental, this cut's detrimental to our budget. And especially, I mean, so you're talking about almost $9,000 for public safety. You're talking, I mean, you look at all these, our other departments, and that's a huge hit to our departments, which are already tight as it is. And to support a giant company feeling that they're taxed too much, I think is just ridiculous. Because now it goes on to our taxpayers, and I don't agree with that. I think this move by Northwestern Energy is very, I don't agree with it.
I agree with you. One thing that's interesting is, since the values in question are, quote, newly taxable, it is unlikely that most non-school jurisdictions would be able to float additional mills due to a recertification. Also, the process would take some time, yada, yada, yada. I think we have to do a recertification, because it sounds like, even though it may not assist the county, it will assist the schools. And for them to lose this money, I think is even
Oh,
worse
yeah.
for us. I think we can weather it. I don't know that they can.
I don't know either, it's really, really tight.
Yeah.
One of the things that the frustrations I have, and this is the outside looking in, but Department of Revenue is constantly settling.
I just- Okay.
Exactly, yeah. I don't see that we have any other recourse though.
So we have a request, this is, if you believe this valuation may have an impact on your mill levy calculations and revenue collections, submit this form to the Department of Revenue employee whose name is prepared in the line above. I don't, to have the school take a hit, to have us as a county take a hit, I think we're taking a hit. And if we say, yep, we're okay with this, then the prices of propane have gone up, the prices of energy has gone up, and they're protesting their taxes. That to me is just unresponsible.
Absolutely. This is something that I also think that we need to address with Department of Revenue. Also, the process of recertifying and then readopting the mill levy requires several steps which may significantly delay the issuance of tax bills and may create additional local administrative costs. Please check with your local council regarding questions of process and with your county treasurer regarding questions of cost. We can do that. Any additional local administrative costs will be the responsibility of the county or jurisdiction requesting the recertification. If this is just our in-house costs, then I think it's something we can cover. If Department of Revenue is asking us to cover any of their local administrative costs, then I think absolutely not. We still, I think, need to recertify, but I would challenge that bill.
Mm-hmm.
This is their settlement, and they're putting us in hardship, and I think under no circumstances should Broadwater County be paying any administrative costs for Department of Revenue for their decisions.
Right. I agree with that.
All right, so on this, we should vote if we do want to recertify and get that on the record, and then work with Doug and Corey on what any cost could be with DOR. If so, I think the commission should write a letter opposing that. And I think we should also write a letter opposing their decision, and exactly stating what you just said.
Yeah.
Their costs for our citizens are going up. And now they're hurting our citizens by challenging their taxes.
Which is an ongoing thing.
It is.
So, I'll make that motion.
All right, I will second it. It's been moved and seconded to request a recertification of Broadwater County taxes through Department of Revenue, and write a strongly worded letter opposing the settlement of the repeated challenges to paying taxes by Northwestern Energy. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. All right, I think that is it. I think that's it. Anything else I forgot?
No,
All right, are you good with adjourning?
I am.
All right, we're adjourned at 8:27. You have 3 minutes to get to
I
it.
know, right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nick. I
Yep.
really appreciate
Don't
everything.
speed, be 5 minutes late.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's right.